Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tyler. Today I want to bring you a video entitled INTP Growth, dealing with the blind spot. So this video really has a lot to do with improving yourself as an INTP, building on your weaknesses, because as the saying goes, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if we can identify problem areas in our life, we can come up with a solution and we can fix that problem ourselves. And I hope this video will help you understand that. So one thing you need to realize as an INTP is that you are actually blessed. The reason that you are blessed is because you have TI Hero. And as I discussed in my last video, with TI Hero, you should be confident in yourself. Because any problem that you come across, you can find the solution and you can likely find the best solution. And if you'd like to learn more about that, check out my last video on INTP confidence. But anyway, because of our TI Hero, we can actually solve very complex problems very easily. Probably easier than anybody else. We can come up with solutions. We're not very good at applying the solutions, but when it comes to very complex problems, nobody is on our level when it comes to solving them. And that's just, it's not a fact because it can't be proven really, but it's something that I truly believe. Along that same line, if we really become interested in something, and that's the key, is just our interest, we can quickly become experts just through our own research. Just through watching videos, through reading books, YouTube videos. I mean, I know everybody's done that. We can easily digest the information, make sense of it, and even with our NE parent, we can actually look at other solutions and see if they're even better than what the current consensus is. Because just because somebody says that this is the best way of doing something, that doesn't mean that's going to be true forever. So INTPs are very good at seeing the current solutions and then actually expanding on that and making it even better. But the problem with INTPs is we don't really use this to improve our lives. Many times because of other insecurities, because of other things that we're not so good at, we can really be held back and we don't really live up to our potential. So what I would implore you to do today is use your TI Hero, figure out solutions to your own problems, because you are very good at solving that, believe it or not. And if we can identify a problem that's holding us back, it really is in our best interest to find a solution to that problem and solve it and apply it. Like I said, INTPs are not good at applying the solutions. And that's really because of our SI child that just likes to be comfy, doesn't like to go outside the boundaries. We can find a solution to our problem and then we can decide not even to do anything about it. We can just kind of say, well, I'm going to hang out for now. I know the solution to that problem, but I'm going to fix that later. Right now I want to be comfy. Right now I don't want to do anything. And that's something else, and I'll probably make a separate video about that. You really have to stop that. You have to apply these solutions to the problems of life. Okay, with all that being said, I will now quickly go over the INTP cognitive functions. At the top here we have TI Hero, already talked about that a little bit. NE Parent, this is always concerned with other possibilities, other way of doing things, metaphysical things. SI Child, we like to be comfy, we like to take in good experiences. FE Inferior, we're aware of other people's feelings, but we're not very good sometimes at helping other people with their emotions. TE Nemesis, we're afraid that our solutions, we cannot externalize them good enough. We fear that we have all the best solutions, but we can't actually apply them, which many times is true. NI Critic, we're very critical of ourselves. We're very critical of our own intentions. Anything that we want, we just kind of feel bad about it, and we just feel like we don't deserve it sometimes. SE Trickster, this is what we're going to talk about more on the next slide. And FI Demon, if we get into a situation where we cannot figure out a problem with any of our other cognitive functions, the FI Demon will really demonize the person or the thing more than it really should be, and this is a situation that is not good. You do not want to be in FI Demon mode. However, FI is not our worst function. We do still see why it is important, and we can understand why we need to develop our FI. And that's not usually the case with SE, but as INTPs, we can identify that SE is our problem, and we need to fix that problem. Alright, so SE, this is our blind spot. This is our trickster. This is something that we really struggle with, and this is our worst developed cognitive function. INTPs don't understand the appeal of SE whatsoever. If an SE dominant is arguing with an INTP, the SE is going to say, well, I'm going to get loud, I'm going to make noise, I'm going to bang my arms together to get my point across. And the TI Dom is going to be like, that doesn't mean you're right just because you're the loudest, just because you're making a scene. That does not mean you are right, and it's not right to be that way. That's how INTPs think, and that is the reason we think that is because we have SE Trickster. I did a Google image search for SE, and I saw this little definition here. I thought it was pretty good just to give a little overview of SE. So SE dominant is usually your danger-seeking person. This is the person that's just crazy. They're going to do things that bring them excitement. Listening to music as loud as possible, dressing all in rocker boots and black and accessories. The way I describe SE is danger. They love danger. They are in your face. They're why that they put women eating cheeseburgers on TV to appeal to that SE. These people are very in the moment. They usually have a lot of strength. Force, dominance. They want to dominate. These are the men on the battlefield, the Spartans. They are in your face. They are going to take everything from you by force. But it's not only about that. It's about YOLO. You only live once. I'm going to do the dangerous thing. It's going to be fun, and I'm just going to do it because I feel like it. They're going to be the ones doing the bike tricks. They're going to be skateboarding, doing just the craziest things. These are going to be the people that like to get into fights just because they like fighting. This is what SE is all about, being in the moment. And INTPs can really struggle with that, guys. Really struggle with that. And because it is our trickster, we don't even consider it. We don't even think about, well, the loudest person may actually win people over. The most dominant personality is going to get the most followers. Just because I can explain why that dominant person is wrong, they're still going to get everybody on their side because they feel that excitement, they feel that confidence, and they want to be a part of that. INTPs don't think that SE is something that you need to have in life, and honestly, guys, that's not true. In my last video, I talked about I thought TI was the best hero function that you can have. However, I think that SE is actually the second best. Just because in your mind you don't understand why SE is important, why being in your face, why being loud is important, that doesn't mean that you're right. You have to realize through your TI hero that SE, even though we see no value in it, is still very important to society and is still just a very important cognitive function. And we have to develop this. A big problem that INTPs have that I've noticed, I've had this in my life, I see other INTPs have issues with this, is they don't feel respected. People will look at the docile INTP standing there looking like they don't even know what's going on half the time because, again, SE trickster, and they're just not going to fear them. They're not going to feel like if they slight them, if they do something to them, that they're going to get punished back. They feel that the INTP is just going to take it because they're weak. And honestly, guys, a lot of times they're right. It would always make me so angry when I would feel like I had the best solution because of my TI hero. I thought, well, this is the best solution. This is what I think we should do. And people just would not even hardly listen sometimes. Just because of this SE trickster. See, when I was saying that, probably, I did not come off as confident because I'm not in the moment. I'm not in your face about it. I'm trying to appeal to the logical part, not the dominance part. You have to improve your SE because SE is a very valuable cognitive function to have. It's not only seen as by society as important, it just is important, guys. You have to realize that. SE is your trickster, so you don't see why it's something you have to have, but you still have to have it. I know you think you're smarter than anybody else, but you still have to realize that you're not right about everything. And in this particular case, SE is something that you probably loathe. Like I loathe SE. I don't think people should get loud when they're arguing. I think they should just debate their points. But I see why it's important. I understand that. So what I have done is try to improve this. And on my next slide here, I'm going to give some ways that you can improve SE And I'll be honest, guys, this will not be easy. This will not be something that will come easily to you because it's going to make you very uncomfortable. But as you start doing it more, let's say day 1, you do it once. Let's say day 2, you do it twice. Day 3, you only do it twice again, but that's still okay. You're still making a habit of it. If you can make a habit of doing these SE things, in my opinion, it's going to improve your life. And you can decide that for yourself. If you're an INTP watching this, you can decide, this guy's dumb, he don't know what he's talking about. Or you can try to apply these things and just watch and see how people start to treat you. Okay, now we're going to get into ways to improve our blind spot, our SE blind spot. And I do apologize, guys, for the length of this video. I'm just kind of rambling on, so I'll try to go a little bit quicker here. First thing here is say the slightly riskier thing. So another problem that INTPs have is FE inferior. We really like to have social harmony among everyone. We don't like to feel like there is anybody mad at anybody else, anybody mad at us. That really makes us uncomfortable. But it honestly doesn't really serve our purpose. But anyway, because of this, we can be afraid of offending people with saying the slightly risque or riskier thing. So we kind of just stay in the boundaries of the conversation. We don't steer it towards the taboo subjects or anything like that. But that's really what SE is all about, is the taboo, the danger. So this is one thing that you can do. Instead of just going along with the conversation, maybe make a little offhanded joke. Maybe say something that maybe everybody doesn't agree with. And like I said, this is not going to be easy. You're going to be saying something that may possibly hurt the social harmony that your FE craves. But what you got to do is you have to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. You have to at least start feeling that sometimes, or you're just going to stay right where you're at. You're going to have all the problems that you currently have. If you want to improve your life, if you want things to go a little bit better, if you want to be respected more, these are the things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to become uncomfortable to change your current habits. So that's the first thing there, is say the slightly riskier thing. Don't be afraid of doing that. Second thing here is don't let slides towards you pass. This is a thing that INTPs can struggle with. People can see us as a target. We can even sometimes be bullied sometimes and not stand up for ourselves. People will say things to us that might be slightly insulting and may not be completely obvious, but we know that they are probably insulting us. And what you got to do when you feel this, especially in a group situation, you cannot let that slide. You have to say something back to that person to get a little conflict going. You cannot just let that person say something insulting towards you and not say anything back, or everybody's going to say, well, man, he's weak. He didn't even stand up for himself. How is he ever going to stand up for me if it comes down to it? So do not take that crap. And you don't have to fight the person. You don't have to go crazy. Just say something back to them if they say, Tyler, you're looking awful slow today. You got something going on, buddy? And you can just say something back like, well, look who's talking. You can say, well, hanging around you all day has really got me bored. Just say anything. It could be a joke. It doesn't have to be the best response. All you have to do is just say something back that creates a little conflict. Lets that person know that whatever you just said is not okay. And if you keep saying things like that, we're going to have a problem. Another thing too INTPs can do is if somebody insults them or says something to them or something about them, they'll just kind of act like they didn't even hear it. They'll ignore it. They'll be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. And you got to stop it. Just because you're going to act like you didn't hear it, people are going to still sense, wow, did he hear that? He's not even going to say anything about that. And that's going to make people respect you more when you say something back, and it's going to make people fear you a little bit more. Do not blend in your opinion with groupthink. So a lot of times at work or something along those lines, a group situation, people are going to have a position, and a lot of people are going to agree with them. They're going to say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I believe that too. And if your thinking is going along with that group, that's fine to say these things and to improve upon their points. If you really agree with them, you're going to add a lot to the conversation. But if you do not approve of what they are saying, do not go along with them. This again is the FE inferior. We're going to disrupt the social harmony. Everybody's getting along with this position. It's just going to be the easiest thing for me to agree with everybody and to go along with what they think is best. Even though deep down on our TI hero, we're thinking these people are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. I don't care. I'll sacrifice my own thinking to keep the social harmony and to keep things all well and good. But what you don't realize is that SE dominants, they don't care what other people think. They're going to say what they feel or what they think, and they're not going to care if everybody else agrees with them. They actually revel a little bit in disagreeing with everybody else. And if let's say you're in a group of 6 people, and all 5 other people agree with this certain position, let's say politics or something, and you're the one person that disagrees with them, that's going to create conflict. That's going to disrupt the social harmony, and you're going to have to be ready to explain your viewpoint, and you're going to have to pick apart their opinions. And honestly, you will have no problem with that because you will just see all the errors in their ways. You will just know what to say when it comes down to it. And it actually does the opposite sometimes of people disliking you. They're going to see that you don't care what other people think. You are going to stand up for yourself, and you don't go along with everybody else. People are going to really respect you for that because they're going to see that you respect yourself, you stand up for yourself. So if it ever came down to it, you're going to stand up for them. And my last point here is stop always doing the comfortable thing. Maybe there's somebody that you see that you don't really like. You really just don't like the way they go about things. But you always really treat them nicely just because you don't want to disrupt the social harmony, because you have an SE trickster. You don't want to have to deal with an in-your-face conflict. So you're going to be very nice to them. You're going to almost be a butt kisser, even towards people you don't like because of these flaws in ourselves. And I would just implore you, for the love of God, quit doing that. Quit doing the comfortable thing. I'm not saying be mean to this person, but just don't be overly nice. And this really goes for anybody. Don't be overly nice. Bring a little bit of drama into your life. Just because you think you're nice to everybody else doesn't mean everybody's going to be nice to you. It doesn't even mean they're going to like you. Actually, if you're overly nice, they probably don't like you. You have to have a little bit of that SE. You have to have a little bit of that discomfort, a little bit in your face, and you just have to be more comfortable with getting uncomfortable. That's really what it comes down to. You have to get out of that SI comfort. You have to get out of that FE social harmony. You have to quit believing that being in your face, being loud, being dangerous is not important. And if you can make a habit of doing these things a little bit every day, a month goes by, you've kept doing it every day, it almost becomes second nature now to bring up these more risque topics. It becomes easier to say that offhand joke that maybe somebody will get offended at. And people are really just going to honestly start liking you more. You're going to get more respect. People are going to look for you when it comes to leadership. And really the whole point of this video is just improving upon your weak points. And like I said, SE is our weakest point. You need to do some of these things to improve that and to improve your life. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this video was helpful. Again, I apologize for how long it is. I did not plan for this to be this long. I thought maybe 10 minutes. But if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. This is only the second video I have made. I do have many ideas for future videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to see those. Also, please comment below. Do you agree with me? Is there any points that you disagree with? I love the debate. So if you disagree with something I've said and you have an argument to make, leave it below and we'll talk about it. Maybe you're right, maybe I am wrong. I'm wrong all the time. It happens. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching and have a nice day.